Last episode we did something a little bit different. We made an entrance and parking for our zoo. This week we're going back to the wheels and see what fate's got for us. My name is Zoopilote and welcome to Azar Zoo, a completely randomized modded Planet Zoo series. In case you didn't know what we're doing, every episode I spin a wheel to see which animal we're building for and what challenges we'll face. Let's jump right in. We got the mainline Serow, also known as the Chinese Serow, an incredibly elusive little creature from the forested hills and mountains of Southeast Asia. Let's see what challenges will come along with it. Two challenges isn't too bad, honestly. Let's see what those challenges are going to be. One of the challenges we got is the walk-in habitat challenge, which means our guests will need to be able to enter the habitat, giving them a uniquely close view of our animals. We also got one theme only, which if you missed our first episode in the series where we also got this one, it means we can only use building pieces from one of the game's themes. Let's spin the themes wheel to see which one we'll be building with. The New World theme is going to be very interesting. It's one of the original themes from the base game. It's going to be a challenge to make this modern theme work for any station species. Let's jump right into the spit build. I think one of the best habits to learn when making habitats in Planet Zoo is painting the size and shape of it, so you can get a general idea of where everything will be. This also applies to paths, by the way. I used it to plan where the little trail I wanted to build as the walking aspect of the habitat was going to be. It also helps a lot to plan out things like sightlines later on, like the small hills I made between the trail and what will eventually become the main viewing window. Painting the paths before placing them also lets me change the terrain like I wanted to and keep the outline of where my path will be. As you know, we can only use New Age theme pieces to build this entire habitat. This theme is one of the oldest themes from the game, which means there's a very limited palette to work with. The pieces tend to be very big, stylized, and most are not even flexicolor. I do have to say that I still like this theme though, but I can't lie and deny that for most of my builds I don't touch 90% of these themes pieces, but that's the case for most of the base game themes anyway. But all these older pieces and models still have their charm and can work extremely well if you find a use for them. I'm honestly surprised how good the whole build ended up looking. I don't want it to sound like I'm claiming the pieces of this theme are bad or ugly in any way, they're just a little bit more difficult to use for me. Whenever I'm working on a shelter for a hoofed species, I like giving them stables, because for the most part these types of animals would realistically have stables in their shelter. When there's a mixed group with one or more males, this becomes very important to prevent unwanted pregnancies during mating season or even sparring between males. Even separating a pregnant mother from the herd is sometimes necessary to prevent any accidents during birth. It also helps keepers keep the animals away while doing maintenance on the rest of the habitat. Going the extra mile and giving a habitat a realistic detail like this makes it look a lot better. I sincerely recommend you check Leaf's ACA series if you like to see them build incredibly realistic and beautiful habitats following the official guidelines, the best zoos in real life use. Since the Chinese Serow isn't a particularly confident or guest-friendly species, I didn't think it would be a good idea to put guests directly in with them. Although the Serows and unruly guests would just jump over these fences, I wasn't going for a fully realistic look for this habitat. I just wanted it to feel right, to feel real enough. To quote Best in Slot, no realism, just vibes. I want to give Monsoon the flowers they deserve for making such a beautiful animal. This Chinese Serow mod is genuinely incredible. GreatCakeMods also deserve their flowers. The art from their Chinese Serow animal sign is very pretty. I found their art style on these prop signs to be lovely. Also, now that I'm talking about it, recently I noticed I never mentioned or talked about some of the mods that have already been helping me during these videos. PZPlus Paths by Hexabit is an incredible mod that adds a bunch of different paths to the game. I've actually been using it since the start of the series, but I've used it for so long I forgot to mention it, which is the same case for FreeBuild, a Kaiodenic mod that gives some much needed liberty while building. It has to be one of the most useful and most used mods out there. And as always, in case you'd like to check this out, all mods I use during this video will be in the description. Before leaving you with the rest of the speed build, I wanted to briefly talk about the animal we're doing all of this for. The very cute Chinese Serow. Also known as the mainline Serow, it's a small horned ungulate with a dark coat, silver mane, and red fur on their legs. They're listed by the IUCN as vulnerable. This species of Serow lives among the many forested rocky hills and mountains along most of the Southeast China area, Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, and even some parts of Nepal. The Chinese Serow's scientific name is Capricornius minidworsi. The first part of it actually means horned goat in Latin. This is also where the name of the zodiac sign comes from. Additionally, Serows are part of the bovine subfamily called Caprinae, which includes goats, sheep, and goat antelopes, a term used for animals like the takin, mountain goat, and the serows, among many others. Serows, muskox, and goral are actually very closely related due to being part of the Ovibovini tribe within Caprinae. That's all I wanted to say. Please enjoy the rest of the speed build. Hey everyone, I sincerely hope you liked today's build for these majestic and mystic creatures. Please tell me what you thought in the comments down below. Consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel to join the vault, so you don't miss the next episode of Azar Zoo. Zoopilote out!